It's hard to trust the process when you don't know what the process is. Let's change that. A lot of painting tutorials are broken up into set sequential steps, which makes sense. It's easier to present in a video and take in as a process. The downside is it doesn't show all the back and forward work that goes into painting a miniature beyond an introductory level. To try and show the process of work and rework, we're going to do some skin tones. To keep it simple, we're going to use 3 paints and a light source from above the subject to make light placement a little bit easier to think about. And those 3 colours are Terrestrial Titan for our deepest shadows, Topaz Skin for our mid-tone, and then we're going to jump all the way up into Opal Skin for the highlights. And look, I know, it's going to feel weird starting from such a deep dark purple for a skin tone, but trust me, this is where all the magic begins. And if you've caught any of the other tutorials on the channel, you know I like to use purple as a shadow tone to make things nice and interesting. And now straight into the mid-tone, but we're going to need a glaze consistency. But there's different types, and for this video I'm going to use 2 of those types. A thin glaze, which is very translucent and really will only tint the surface. This is great for smoothing out and blending. And the second one is a heavy glaze. This one is still thin and translucent, but there is a little bit more paint in the mix. So instead of slightly tinting the surface, it's going to be just thin enough that the dark undercoat can kind of come through. And this one's better for building blends. This one is a thin glaze, and as you can see, there's not a lot of coverage and you're going to have to go over it many times to build up opacity. Whereas this one is a heavy glaze. You can already start to see the difference in application. And this is where the work starts. Because our Terrestrial Titan base coat is so incredibly dark and a massive jump up into Topaz Skin, which is going to be our mid-tone, means we're going to be using a lot of incredibly thin layers to build up to that color. But because those layers are so thin and we're getting some of that purple show through, this is where the blending starts. And yes, this is an incredibly ugly stage. But we're not going to worry about that one just yet, because this is where the refining starts. Mixing these 2 paints together, I'm going to start to create a gradient so I can kind of see where I'm heading to with the colors. It's also going to help match tones as we need to go back and forth and do that little bit of refining work. Just like right here. Using the gradient we just mixed out, I can use it to help color match sections that I need to blend together. And I'm still working with incredibly thin paints, because what I'm trying to do is blend back the transition that we already made with our glazes. And obviously I'm working in the shadow tones at the moment. And because we're looking at a very easy light source, we're going to be focusing the shadows to the bottom and the recesses, and all the highlights are going to go on top. But at the moment we're not worried about highlights at all, we just want to smooth out the blends between the deepest shadows and what that mid-tone is. I'm not looking for perfection here, I just want to ease back some of those transitions. Now we're back to the mid-tone. And this is where the mid-tone truly begins, because now I'm picking out everything that is not a recess. In a way, this is still actually setting up where all of our colors are going to sit. And honestly, that's the important part. In this regards, the destination is more important than the journey. As long as we get the outcome that we're after, it doesn't matter how we get there. It doesn't matter that we have to keep going back and forward and shaping and reshaping and working and reworking until we get what we like. Which is another big plus side to working with such thin paints. As long as you're waiting for each layer to dry before painting over it, you're not going to create any texture. And everything's going to stay nice and silky smooth. And when you're using thin layers to build with, it's also going to help our blending. Every layer builds more opacity, and we're going to use this to build volumes and blend. But that doesn't mean we don't actually have to go back and blend it out. After building back up to the mid-tone and shaping those rippling dwarven muscles, I'm going back into that same Terrestrial Titan and Topaz Skin mix. Just another little smoothing step before we actually start to look at highlighting. That's right, we're finally moving into using a 3rd color. And this is where things actually start to come together for us. And I'm going to use that same trick of mixing a gradient blend across the wet palette to help out with tonal matching. Now we can finally start to think about where the light's coming from. And because we're trying to keep this simple, everything is just going to be on top. So all of our highlights are just going to be on the top of the muscles. The other thing to remember when working with glazes, especially with lighter colors, is they are going to dry darker and thinner than they appear when you apply them. When they're wet, they are going to really stand out. And yeah, that can take a little bit of getting used to know where the final product's actually going to sit once it's dry. And there's no cheat sheet for that, it really is just experience and practice. In saying that, this is exactly what this video is about. It's all the little unspoken details that go into miniature painting. and covering all the extra processes that there are when the camera's turned off for a lot of tutorials. And I get it is a lot easier to fix things up when you're off camera. But that's a really important step that people kind of need to see. There's a lot of people out there that think that they're doing it wrong because their step-by-steps look different than the steps that they saw in the video or in the article. And the only reason that they do look different is because there's some of the behind-the-scenes magic missing. While I've been talking a lot through the highlighting stage, it is exactly as you've seen. We're using the exact same idea, the same glazes, just different brighter colors to build on top of the muscles instead of underneath them like we did for the shadows. And now that we are actually into highlighting territory, we can start to define some of the muscles individually. Something that Vinci V talks about a lot is people creating muscle islands. And that usually means that there's too much contrast in between each muscle and it doesn't look like it's covered with skin. It just looks like a bunch of individual shapes. So through the shadows and the midtones, I try to hit most of everything so it is at least pulled down or pulled together. But once we get into the final highlighting stages, yeah, we're gonna go ham. We're gonna build up those muscles nice and shiny and make it look like they used more baby oil than Triple H. And if you're thinking, finally, we're on to the final highlights, we must be getting pretty close to done. Wrong. Another layer of highlights just means we've set up more layers that we need to go back and blend in. And when I get to this stage, I usually go back to the mid-tone and go to an incredibly thin glaze. This is almost dirty paint water. Because what it's going to do is take off some of that shine, dull everything back, but dull everything back at a level together. So we're really smoothing out the blends. And we can also take that time, if you want to jump back into the Terrestrial Titan and Topaz Skin mixes, you can rework those shadows. And now we're at the end. Do you want me to describe it to you, or shall I fetch a box? I bet you were worried when we were going to start with that really deep purple, weren't you? This is the least colourful miniature I have painted in a very long time. But I think it's something that we really had to cover. Drop a comment down below and let me know if this was actually helpful. And as always, a massive thank you to InGames, The Army Painter, all of our amazing Patreons that keep us rolling every week, and of course you. Big love, you filthy animal.